Ah, there we go. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi, and welcome. Let me know if there's a lot of background noise happening this week because we've got some temperature controlling devices running that may be loud, but maybe not. Anyway, hi. Lovely to see you all. Let's see, who do we have? We've got Kate Prince, Liberal Socialist, Isaac Snow, Carly, PKT Paladin, Eli, Anthony, Moonbook, Lady, Daft, so many people. Oh my goodness. There's some slight static, says Isaac. Okay. All right. Well, let me know if it gets to be too much, if it gets to be annoying. It is muggy and gross in Seattle today. It is terrible. Just absolutely terrible. It's fine, whatever. It feels like I saw one of my friends on Twitter said that it felt like East Coast mugginess, and I don't care for it. So we've got some dehumidifying and air conditioning happening at the moment, which hopefully will keep me from becoming grumpy. You wouldn't like me when I'm grumpy. Kate Prince wants to know if I like the stage show or movie of Evita. That's a tricky one because I haven't seen the stage show. James says the stage show is good. Oh, what a nice gift. James has just brought me a Nutella, which looks very weird on the green screen. He's brought me a Nutella, and he's brought me a tea. I might also need some coffee. Oh, this tea smells just like coffee. Delicious. Delicious coffee tea. Liberal Socialist said, did y'all watch the debate? Nah. At this point, we're not voting on anything. Why? Hello and welcome back to Anthony Rose and Moonbook. It's been a while. PKT Paladin likes the video and Elis Grace's face. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. If you haven't seen, I've just posted a video about All in the Family. Oh, goodness gracious. And it just also nearly knocked everything over. Oh, no. There's playing an ad for meditation. Oh, geez. That's not relaxing. Okay, let's see. We'll bring this back up just a little bit. I like to have a little meditation, relaxation music in the background there. That'll go great with the air conditioner noises. Yes. Oh gosh. So Edith's Crisis of Face. We can talk about that. What a project that video was. Kate Prince says Laurie Shannon was a really good female impersonator. I loved all 3 of her episodes on All in the Family. I wish there was more video footage of her doing her thing. This is, of course, this is the 70s, back in the days before cell phones and video and all that kind of stuff that you could just, like, carry around in your pocket. You can find her on All in the Family. There's a momentary clip of her appearing at Finocchio's, which is the bar that she worked at in San Francisco. She also appeared on, like, a daytime talk show in San Francisco, like, local daytime talk. So you could see her, like, doing her thing for, like, 15 minutes. But other than that, I'm not aware of any other video footage of her, which is a shame. Six shows. Oh gosh, Liberal Socialist. Sorry, that's blah, blah, blah. Liberal Socialist says 6 shows with LGBT characters are ending soon. Which 6? That's too many. Too many to end. Sorry, I'm rushing through the chat as fast as I can here. PKT Pelham wants to know if I watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah, I know a lot of people said that I should cover that one. Here's the thing is, I've watched some episodes, so I'm familiar with the show. Normally I cover stuff that has more of that's a little older, so that I can go into, like, the historical context and stuff. It's a little hard for me to do a video about something that's happening right now. Oh, good. Sorry. That having been said, I'm thinking about doing a Steven Universe video, because, the movie's coming out and all that. But it may turn out to be more of, like, a gays in animation video than a Steven Universe video. Like, talk about Steven Universe, of course, because how could you not? But I might do, like, a gays in the cartoons video to coincide with all the Steven Universe stuff that's coming up. Let's see. So Liberal Socialist says, HTGAWM. How the gays are wide men. How the gays are wide men. Have 2 girls after women march. No? How's the greatest American worm machine? Arrow, Andy Mack, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Empire, and Modern Family. Huh. Yeah, I guess that's a lot. Those have been going for a long time, some of them. Okay. It is hot here, says Twitter, Ravenna Bonet. Yes. Inappropriately hot. I don't care for it. Muggy in Ontario. Sorry to hear about that. Isaac Snow. Young Justice at least had Aquaboy kiss a boy for once. Well, that's nice. I'm glad. Somebody on Twitter was saying that they're done with, like, gay Easter eggs. They don't want, like, oh, it's a little hidden gay moment. They want a whole gay omelet, which, that sounds good to me. Twitter says, Ravenabot says, I love the 79 version of Evita. Patti LuPone version is the best. There is the Buenos Aires video from the Tonys where she belts the What's New Buenos Aires song and, like, it's impossible to understand her. Wait, Earthquake, Opera Sync, when I bumped the desk, yes. Isaac is on vacation. Vacation ruins my routine, and I forgot to take meds the evening of my first day. Turns out it makes me emotionally crash and not sleep until 2 a.m. Blurg. Oh, no. Oh, if people... Oh, Vanity Smurf. You want me to talk about Vanity Smurf? Christine says, have you considered talking about Sense8 or the OA? I don't think you'd like what I have to say about those shows, is the thing. I think the OA is one of the worst comedies I've ever seen. No, it's not supposed to be a comedy, but I do think it's unintentionally funny. And Sense8, I had a hard time relating to that one because I don't think it's made for me, so it was really hard for me to get into it. And like I said, hard for me to talk about, like, modern stuff because I usually talk about history. Radical Rainbow suggests Divine John Waters. That's a possibility. Divine John... I'm not sure what I have to say about that other than... I mean, I'd have to give that some thought. You know, I could certainly do, like, a little roundup of some Divine highlights. Oh, we'd have to talk about... Oh, pardon me. We'd have to talk about Lust in the Dust a little bit, which is her not-so-good Western that she made without John Waters. And, of course, Divine's musical career, doing music videos, which are super weird, and connections to Ursula. I mean, so some really exciting, like, fun stuff to talk about. I mean, of course, I love talking about Pink Flamingos and Desperate Living and Hairspray and all those things and polyester. Super into, like, all that stuff, so maybe I could talk about it. I'm just not sure, like, what's the big idea? What do I have to say? Because usually my videos have more than just, like, doing a little recap. There's some, like, thesis that I'm presenting about them. So I have to think about what I'd have to say about Divine other than, you know, like, she sure was cool. Raphael's connection is terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. PM is writing a piece on lesbian rom-coms. They had a moment in the 90s, but seemed I was about to say, where'd they all go? Whatever happened to the lesbian rom-coms? Do you have any favorites? Ooh. Well, you know, of course, there's But I'm a Cheerleader and Big Fish, which I don't think is a comedy, really. I'm trying to think of others. Like, I'm aware that they had their time. That might be something that I don't have a lot of brain space cleared out for. Lesbian rom-coms. I was about to say Bend It Like Beckham, but I don't think they actually are explicit about any lesbian stuff in that one. That movie had more to do... That I know that with that movie, that had to bring the score down for Madonna. David R. loves Sense8. I know a lot of people like it. I just couldn't really figure out... I couldn't find something to like about it. Like, all the characters were like, I don't really, not really interested in your plight. And a lot of the dialogue, I was just like, this dialogue is not as clever as it's written to be. Yeah, I guess Divine's Walk Like a Man. See, and there is a difference. Divine was not trying to be clever. At no point was there any, like, attempt with Divine to be like, checked out this mental gymnastics. That was not her brand. Oprazine says, Patti LuPone has in an interview said the score to Evita is unsingable. She finally sang the score in a satisfactory way in the Australian tour after Broadway. Oh. Eve says, ContraPoints compared Divine to Desaad. That's an interesting take. I'm interested in that. I mean, here's the thing with Divine is I like her as a political statement, starting with, I mean, her big monologue in, I think it's in Pink Flamingos, when somebody's like, do you have a political statement? She's like, eat shit, condone murder. Like, there's something about that platform that I find very appealing. Oh. Mm. Bob Mathis asks about Showtime series Brothers. I'm aware of it. I haven't watched too much. I mean, and so that's the amazing thing. There was a gay network, a gay cable sitcom in the 80s, in the mid 80s, which is wild that we don't talk about today. Why don't we talk about that? A lot of people have asked me to do that one. I just, I have to watch a lot of episodes of that to really cover it thoroughly. Because it went on for like 4 seasons, which is amazing. Oh, and Christy says, did you find the trans episode of Night Court? Good going back over. I know they treated the minor characters who were trans as real people. Did I? No, I watched the lesbian episode of Night Court. There's a lesbian episode where it's he thinks somebody has a crush on him. John Larroquette's character thinks somebody has a crush on him. I think it's John Larroquette, right? Is he on Night Court? Thinks somebody has a crush on him. Turns out she's a lesbian. She wants him to keep the secret or something, and he outs her or something like that. Here's the problem with Night Court. It's not very good. It's I wouldn't say it's the most sensitive of writing, especially after doing Beverly LaSalle. It's kind of like, oh boy, now we're doing this. Now we're doing this material. What do you think of Madonna's "Open Your Heart" video with the 2 boys? Oh, wait, what is that? That's like "Open Your Heart to Love." Is that the song? I don't know if I've seen that one. Let me. You gotta get these things written down here. Ugh. Let's see. Madonna, "Open Your Heart" video. With 2 boys. Oh, I like anything with manly love. Lower keys are common in film adaptation of Broadway shows, things like Carousel, Camelot. They should have transposed My Fair Lady for Audrey Hepburn. Oh, I wonder, would that have helped? Was it simply the key that was the problem for her, for poor Audrey? I know it was a difficult situation with her thinking she was going to be singing and then not. Oh. PM says Brothers lasted 5 seasons, but later seasons focused on the straight siblings. And get most of the gay stuff in season 1 and 2. Oh, okay. Well, that actually makes that a lot easier. And K Princess won't mention what they did the score of Phantom of the Opera for the movie. Oh, that is that is the electric guitars in the basement. Let's see, in Andy Mack's case, I think it was a combo of, an actor getting arrested and the actor's getting too old for the roles. Yikes. Ooh. Wait, Andy Mack? Is that the one? No, I'm thinking of Allie May? Allie Marmalade? What's the one where she can turn into a blob? I don't think that's the one that we're talking about. Oh, and 2 Navy guys watching a peep show. Oh. Now that I haven't seen. Now that's an older one, right? That's been a long time. McMahon of the People says, any chance Dungeons and Drag Queens, goodness gracious. Is there any chance Dungeons and Drag Queens, aka Queens of Adventure, our podcast and live show, is coming back to Chicago anytime soon? Funny, you should mention that, because the answer is yes. We're making plans right now. We haven't announced anything officially. But yes, the plan is to be back in Chicago in October. We're going to be making big announcement about it very soon. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing some live streams to promote it. We're going to be doing a big old... Now, don't tell anybody, but we're going to be doing some crowdfunding. This is all top secret. We're not revealing this publicly yet, but I'm just going to whisper it to you, my friends. Ooh, cockets. That would be a great concept. That would be a great idea for a video. Cockets. Yeah, so we're going to be doing like a big thing to make that happen. So if you want to be up to date on that, get on the Queens of Adventure mailing list is the best way to make sure you find out about it. That's at queensofadventure.com. We've got a whole bunch of Queen stuff coming up this month and October to make announcements for. We're going to be doing some live streams. We're going to be doing some special recordings. We're going to be doing live show, multiple live shows. So, woof, lots of stuff. Let's see. Emmy Rossum was miscast in something. They should have waited a year for Anne Hathaway to be available. Oh, wait, for Phantom of the Opera? Wait. Was Emmy Rossum in Phantom of the Opera? For Anne Hathaway to be available. Would she have been... I don't know what thing we're talking about. Are we talking about putting Anne Hathaway in Alex Mack? Playbill released the list of most produced high school shows this year. 2 of them feature non-straight characters. Almost Maine and She Kills Monsters. Really? She Kills Monsters is one of the most produced high school shows this year? That's fascinating. Ralph Bakshi introduced some of the first gay characters in animation. Really? Especially ones like Snowflake and Heavy Traffic, but coded ones like Gandhi and Sourpuss and Mighty Mouse. Okay, I have to write this down because that is fascinating. I definitely want to talk about this. Snowflake and Heavy Traffic. Who else? What other gay animation things? I need to educate myself about this, and I did not know about the Ralph Bakshi connection. Gandhi, Sour. I would not have thought Ralph Bakshi would have been a source for that kind of thing. Tend to think of his work as being pretty heterosexual. LGBT characters on superhero shows. That's a good idea. Although most of that is happening contemporary. There's Charles Pierce on Wonder Woman, which is just goofy, especially because they had like a woman dub all of the dialogue in an extremely womany voice that is clearly not really Charles's. Oh, there's a lot of clips of teens playing the male couple at Almost Maine. Their scene's adorable. I'm not familiar with Almost Maine. What is that one about? And McMahon of the People suggests a Culture Cruise on Paul Lynde's sitcom. Maybe a Culture Cruise on Paul Lynde. Here's my hot take on Paul Lynde. He wasn't very funny, but he was never really allowed to be. Culturally, he was just put in this position. Oh, I actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I really want to do a Culture Cruise about Paul Lynde. You know, he was on all these things. He was on, like, Hollywood Squares and Bewitched, of course, and he had his sitcom. But because he was straight-washed as a character, I think that prevented him from being as funny as he really could be. Paul Lynde Holiday Special, or Halloween Special, of course, one of my favorite. The gayest piece of television. And yet, because they couldn't, you know, let him loose, and what's the other one? His Bye Bye Birdie. He says, Gay Mafia, what is that? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that production. Oprazine put a lesbian character in Can't Take It With You. Who was your lesbian character? I was in Can't Take It With You as Ed. On Broadway. No. Quentin Crisp would be a great subject, a great message for gays and straights. It was to live your life on your own terms. I need to do a lot of learning about Quentin Crisp before I talk about him. Quentin Crisp. The thing is, he's got like such a huge body of work, bigger than Paul Lynde's even, that there would be a lot of media for me to consume to really talk expertly about him. And Christy says, Bakshi coded J. Jonah Jameson as J. Jonah Jameson as gay? Did he really? 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 Paulo says, how do you take your coffee? Very, very black, as you can see. I don't think there's anything in there. This is just like cold brew coffee with an ice cube. So I don't think there's anything adulterating it. What's that, James? Well, yes, James says that I can't have milk without it troubling me. So instead, I'll just have this chocolate. I wonder. No, no, no. I was gonna say, I wonder if it'd be good to dip Nutella in cold coffee. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Aberdeen says, I'm in favor of Paul Lynde. He was hilarious on Hollywood Squares. Oh, I'm in favor of him. I like him. I just think that he really suffered when he couldn't be. I think Hollywood Squares is as close as we saw to actual Paul Lynde, which was to say, often drunk and resentful. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to say he was definitely drunk in that square, but also, I mean, wouldn't you be? No, yeah, I think Hollywood Squares Paul is probably the closest we came to him actually being as funny as he could be. But there's some clips of him being just like in the foulest mood. And just makes it really uncomfortable to watch. Aaron says, I have an animated porn video of Batman vs. Superman that is hot AF. Does that count? Spoiler alert, Batman bottoms. Of course he does. Of course he does. I've seen more Midsummer Night. Just reminded me of it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle porn that has been in my life for a long time. It was James. That Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle video, wasn't that like an MIT project or something?
It was, yes.
Yes. Might have been Harvard, he says. It was somebody's like school project to produce some pornography, and I don't remember why or what the point of it was or what it had to do with anything. But you can find it if you look on the internet for Don't Cut Me No Slack, April, I think is a line in one of them. There's North Star from Marvel. Always knew he was a gay character back when he was in Alpha Fight with his twin sister, says Raphael. Yes, Paul Lynde was obviously, very obviously, to the point where it's just absurd that he's like got a wife on his sitcom. Luigi says MTV's Spy Groove. I've never heard of that. Spy Groove? What on earth? Spy Groove. Ampersine says, and you can't take it with you. I didn't have an actor for Mr. DePina. Is it DePina or DePina? Or we would, so in our production, because we were high school students, we called it Mr. DePina. And there were a lot of like jokey innuendo references about that. The little old man who lives with them and always makes fireworks. So the character, oh, a shy butch lesbian. That, I like that a lot. Also, don't make DePenis jokes about that character. Have you seen the musical Zanna Don't? Or the film Almost Normal? I have not seen either of those. Almost Normal. So I'm writing all these down, and they will go in the description of the live stream. If you want to like read all the recommendations everybody made, I put them in the description of the live stream afterwards. So you can just find them on my channel. How about a culture cruise about the bad guy in the movie The Birdcage was actually Robin Williams, Nathan Lane's son? Yeah, I've got that. I did that. I already have that video. You can find that on my YouTube channel as well. Coonskin was a controversial urban Bakshi film, loosely based on the Uncle Remus stories. Mafia brothers in that movie are stereotypically gay. Yikes. I have to tread very carefully in talking about that one, but okay. Who knew that Ralph Bakshi did so many gay characters? Oh, and of course, the alien on American Dad, yes, just doing a weird Paul Lynde impression for no reason, really.
It's also Samurai Pizza Cat.
And James recommends the theme song for Samurai Pizza Cats. Not sung by Paul Lynde, but sung, weirdly enough, and this is true, by a Paul Lynde impersonator. I don't know why. He sounds like he's doing more of a B-52s. What's the guy's name from B-52s? Bartle Filge man? No, Fred Schneider. Took me a minute to turn that ship, but I got there. Yeah, so for some reason, a Paul Lynde impersonator doing a Fred Schneider impression sings the theme song to Samurai Pizza Cats, and that actor, that impersonator, once left an angry comment on my YouTube video about how the son in the birdcage is the real villain. So there's your twisted connection for the day. Some 60s news programs and PSAs about gays have been put on YouTube. Some are hostile like Boys Beware, but others like BBC's This Week Homosexuals are sympathetic. Oh my goodness. I love that title. This Week Homosexuals. I'm writing that down. This week. That's every week for me. That sounds so good. This Week Homosexuals. Tony Randall was married a bunch. Had I not known better, I would have thought him gay. Could have been bisexual. Have you seen the 80s prison soap Prisoner? A lot of positive lesbian characters, very camp. Well, it's Aussie. Oh, I don't know that one. Is it like a sitcom? Is it a soap opera, like a series? Prisoner, 1980s. Not the one. Which is the one I'm thinking of? Is it The Prisoner? Where the guy, like, is in this weird town. It's a British show where a guy's in a weird town and he's not sure if he's dead or if he's not allowed to leave. Oh, Max, you couldn't go to the Pride Parade near you because you had to study for exams. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Blah. You could have a little Pride Parade of your own. Just march back and forth down a hallway. It's not the same. Thought the guy that played the son of the birdcage was rather cute, but that's just me. I mean, yeah, sure, he's cute. Dan something? Dan Futterman? Is that who he is? Or is that somebody else? That might be somebody else. What'd you say, James? He is the Futterman. That sounds like a name that I made up trying to remember somebody else. I was like, Dan Butterbagel. You'd be right about Tony Handel, at least so I heard, says Oprazine. Oh, some saucy gossip for a man who's been dead for a long time. Is he dead? Is Tony Randall dead? I think he is. I always confuse Tony Randall and Tony Curtis. Not 100% sure they're different people. Radical says, I was an active in the 80s. I feel the work has been forgotten. Well, I mean, on one hand, it's a good thing that, like, the work was successful enough that people can live now. But yeah, I think there's not enough talk about, like, all the good work that ACT UP did. Blanche's gay broth. Wait, what? Blanche's gay broth. Oh, Blanche's gay brother is also Captain Thorpe on Baywatch. Ursula Sea Witch, of course, based on Define. Cruella de Vil is also based on drag queen. Oh, I wonder. I mean, that's possible. There's a lot of those Lady Disney villains are very queer coded, like extremely so. Like, you know, Maleficent or what's her name? I can't remember her name from the Rescuers, first Rescuers movie. Yes, Cruella de Vil definitely feels like a drag queen inspired that character, but who knows? K-Princess, wasn't Dan Futterman in the J-Lo movie enough? Well, enough is enough of that. He's more of a writer than an actor these days, I believe. Christy Abbey went to my first Pride this year, got interviewed for the news, made sure my trans flag was in the shot the whole time. Good for you. That is excellent. I'm very glad that you did that. What news? Can you say what news you were on? You don't have to if you don't want to. But hooray! Congratulations for putting a pride flag, for putting a trans flag on the news. That's great. And so now the news is trans, is the rule. That's just the rule. All news is trans. Oprazine, that's a good observation. Cruella is mostly Tallulah Bankhead. It was pretty much a cis female drag queen. Anyway, yeah. Would I call what Tallulah Bankhead did drag? I think at times, it depending on your definition. She was huge, very larger than life, played with gender, I would say, in her roles. I think you could make that case that she really was a drag queen. Raphael says, does anyone remember the name of a production company that used a pink triangle as their logo? Trying to Google it. That doesn't sound familiar. K Prince says James Dean was gay. Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson had a bet who could bag Dean first, and Rock Hudson won. Oh, I like that rumor. But Mina F says James Dean wasn't gay. He's bi at most. I mean, that seems likely to me. That seems likely. Anthony says, Matt, I love your analysis of 70s, 80s sitcoms. Your Pee-wee's Playhouse 1988 was the best in my opinion. Thank you. Glad you like that one. That is the only one that has been copyright claimed. But that was a really fun one to do, in part because it had Grace Jones in it and Charo, and like, there's so much good stuff to talk about on that holiday special. James has given me a very nice Nutella snack. Jinoniki says, love your channel, learned so much, and how you cut down tropes, good and bad. Yeah, glad to talk about that stuff. I found a really good paper on... oh no, the edge of the screen. Oh, geez. I went to the gymnasium yesterday, and my arm is very, very, very sore. Oh. Ugh. Ooh. PM says, Gore Vidal was out earlier than most. I'm assuming it was because he was rich. There are clips of him arguing with homophobic interviewers in the 1960s. I think I've seen those. It's been a while. I think I've seen those. Yeah, and what a treasure he was. Not all of his work is very good. There's a lot he's done that I'm like, but he's certainly interesting. He gives you a lot to talk about. And that's real gay culture. McMahon of the People says, I know you've done History of Drag Queens on television. Would you ever do the History of Drag Queens or male impersonators in television? Oh, drag kings or male impersonators. That's an interesting idea. There's not... I'm trying to think, like, who's coming to mind? Julie Andrews in Victor Victoria, kind of. Trying to think of others. Other drag kings on television. Very, very few. Robert says, what are you watching nowadays? I've been watching a lot of Lindsay Ellis lately and a lot of ContraPoints. We just started watching Good Omens on Amazon, which, good. I like it. It is actually very good. Oh, Bert Savoy, Oprazine recommends, the first modern drag queen. Let me see. That name's very familiar, but I can't place it. Bert wrote Bent Savoy, which also Savoy. Okay, I need to write that all over again because I'm so bleary, like morning weird. I wrote Bent Savory. Bert Savoy. Oh, and Mulan. Yes, of course. Mulan. Marlena Dietrich dressed as a man. Well, here's the thing. She wore men's clothing, but I don't think she was trying to, like, pass. I wouldn't call her a drag king. I'd say that she was gender exciting, but I'm not sure I would say, like, drag exactly. Because she's not, like, going over the top with it. She's not, like, playing with the gender tropes. She's not, you know, stippling her face with stubble. She's just looking real hot in a tuxedo. Piketty Paladin says, you've mentioned the triple take characters responding to queer innuendo tropes like Rose Nyland and Edith Bunker. Oh, do you mean like when characters are like, wait, you're what? I don't understand. What does it mean that you're... Oh! Do you think characters who are naive and quickly accepting have a different impact than those who respond negatively and need to be convinced? Ooh, that's a really good distinction. I like that. Let me... Oh, goodness. This... Hold on. This microphone cable is coiled up in a way that makes it very hard to gesture. Let me think about that. Yes is the short answer. But what is the difference? I need to think about that for just a moment. Characters who are naive, like Rose Nyland or Edith Bunker. I mean, I think those characters are doing the work of... They don't carry the social baggage of prejudice to the extent of other characters. But they're also adults, so it's not like they're actual children. You know, someone coming around, like if Archie Bunker was like, all right, I guess I recognize... I wouldn't say that one is more important than the other. But I think those two types of characters carry very different meanings. One is, you know, our default state. I think what Rose and Edith suggests is that our default state is not to be prejudiced against people. And what an Archie Bunker character suggests is a coming around... is that with enough time and work and effort, bigots can see the humanity of queer people too. Eli, or Ellie, L-E-W says, I've heard Good Omens is the most stolen book in the world. My family's lost several copies over the years. I wonder why that is. Why would that be the most stolen book? Weird. But, I mean, I'm sure that's something that the authors would appreciate. Oprazine, I want to believe that story is true. About Bert Savoy's death. The most dragged death imaginable. He was walking down the beach with a friend. There was a huge clap of thunder. Bert yelled, "That's about enough from you, Miss God." And then he was struck by lightning and died instantly. That seems too impossibly perfect to be true. Radical Rainbow says, what's your view of The Boys in the Band? Favorable. I think it's great. Although, I've only seen it in chunks. I haven't watched the whole thing front to back all the way through. I think I've probably seen the whole thing in all the different little pieces that I've watched over the years. But I should just sit down and watch Boys in the Band. I'm putting that on the list. Boys in the Band. Just watch the whole thing, for heaven's sake. PHSRF says there are gay and trans Transformers. Tell me more about that. The guy that was in the HBO... K-Prince says the guy that was in the HBO show Hung, Thomas Jane, has stated that when he was a starving actor before he was successful, he used to screw around with guys just to get a meal. Oh, Mulan is the first Disney movie to say the words drag show and crossdresser? Really? Is that true? Is that the first? Is that in there? I don't remember those words being said, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Oh, Dan Keller says there's a show he did with Anita Bryant back in the day. I want to believe it's a variety show. Like it's Gore Vidal and Anita Bryant, like Sonny and Cher. Probably not. Eli says Lion King said drag first. Oh, you're right. Timon does say, yes, dress and drag and do the hula. You're right. You're right. There's a little Timon moment there. Christy says, on that Night Court episode, everyone but Dan took Dan's trans friend as a person. It had a very special episode feel, but important to me. Huh. Okay, I gotta find that episode then. That sounds pretty good. Aubergine says, there's a TV film based on last summer's Broadway production of Boys in the Band coming soon. That would be a great topic for you. Oh, I didn't know they were making... Interesting. TV film based on that. Interesting. I didn't know they were doing a new version. Huh. Aubergine, I do like that title. The Gore Vidal and Anita Bryant Good Time Sunshine Hour. Brought to you by the Florida State Citrus Commission. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Oh, Rezel is here. Hello, hello, Rezel the Fallen. How are you? How are things? Good to see you. Sean Nathan says, the Emperor's little assistant guy says crossdresser. I think in Mulan, right? Not in the Emperor's New Groove. Rezel says, almost missed the stream again. Oh, I'm glad that you're joining us. How do we like this time? I prefer getting up a little bit later on a Saturday so I don't have to be up early to stream. So if we're good with 10 a.m., I think we might keep it here or maybe even make it 11. How about, no, 10. I don't want to be up until, don't want to be keeping you from your day. You got to get your day going. Shoeface says, adore your videos. Keep up the good public service. You consider longer series for political commentary. Yeah, so I used to do more political videos. You can find them on my channel. Slightly older ones. And I do like news. It's not really commentary. I do like news videos once a week. Radical Rainbow says, is RuPaul's Drag Race trashing the rich history of drag? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think you can... I mean, it exists. You're not going to take it away. Oh, and Disney and gender bending. Can we talk about Pleakley in Lilo and Stitch? Yes, there's another... Yeah, I guess once Timon put on that Hawaiian skirt, the floodgates were open for all kinds of, like, cross-dressing in Disney films. Raphael's frustrated by the gay character in Brothers and Sisters. I haven't seen that. What is Brothers and Sisters? Oh, Dan says the Vidal Bryant talk show is kind of like Donahue. Wait, was it a special or like a regular show? Like, was it on every week? It's 7 p.m. for me, says Rezel. Okay, is this a good time? Because I'd like to make this a accessible time for as many people as possible. Black Benny Bouvier Desmond says Drag Race isn't trashing it, more like siphoning it and marketing it to a mainstream heterosexual audience. It's very surface-level interpretation of cross-dressing culture. Yeah, that's probably... Like, I don't think that's wrong, and I think it's good for more people to be seeing drag and for it to be a part of people's lives. You know, if they see that surface-level version, that's more people who will get into the machine of drag and try to find more of it. In Star versus the Forces of Evil, Star's friend Marco is shown wearing a dress quite a bit, perfectly content with it. The show's creator said it's inspired by when she was a kid. Oh, she dressed, I assume, as a boy. Interesting. Christy says, is the movie Bring It Baby the first studio post-Hays Code to use the word gay as homosexual? I'm not convinced that it is exact. That's a tough one to read. So Cary Grant is wearing like a woman's nightgown, I guess, and for various convoluted movie reasons. And somebody asks why he's wearing that, and he jumps and he says, "I just went gay all of a sudden." And I don't know, like, if that's supposed to be innuendo. Probably, right? It's probably supposed to be innuendo. But it's just really hard to say at the time. Is it just a coincidence? Because gay wasn't common enough usage by then. It probably would have been intentional. Right? Right? Jacob, what do you think? PHSRF says, my favorite gay couple is Chrome Dome and Rewind, two Transformers. Most Transformers are in same-sex relationships. So I don't know enough about Transformers to know those characters. Chrome Dome and Rewind from Transformers. I'm writing it down, though. Are they a couple, or is that like an AO3 thing? Shoeface says, I catch every news video. Thanks heaps. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Opera says, sometime you can look at the opera tradition of tween and teenage male characters played by female singers, generally tight costumes, emphasizing an androgynous look. Oh, yeah. Well, that's been going on forever. Anthony says, have you seen that Macaulay Culkin movie based on Michael Alec? Yes, Party Monster. Been a while since I watched that one. I don't remember actually liking it, but it's been a while, so maybe it's time to revisit. Put that on the list. Sure. Party Monster. Rawr. What else? What other good gay stuff in animated products, cartoons and television and movies that had gay in it? Obviously, there's... What's the one Disney just had, like Disney's first animated same-sex kiss, and then they had... and then Steven Universe had a wedding, of course. I don't think it's bad what Drag Race is doing, says Black Benny Bouvier Desmond. That's what happens when underground thing becomes mainstream. Same thing happened for rap and punk cultures. Yeah, that's true. It's just you don't want to silence the culture that developed the thing that's getting appropriated. Star versus Forces of Evil fact. Male friend of hers in makeup. Fortunately, her friend's parents were unhappy of that. She wasn't allowed to play with them anymore. Oh, well, that is not great. K Prince says the best drag movie of all time is Something Like It Hot. I don't think there's any drag kings in that one, but there is a lot of drag. Brothers and Sisters was a TV show about a well-to-do family from Pasadena. One of the brothers was gay. He was the most annoying character. Sally Fields was the mom. Oh, that sounds fun. I like that. Oprazine says the joke code word for a male homosexual in movies of the 20s and 30s was lavender. Did people say gay at that time? I'm pretty sure they did. Right? Oh, I see. Like a swishy interior designer would say, I can't think of a color for this apartment. And someone would say, how about lavender? Oh, they sure showed him. Do you like tea? And of course, a friend of Dorothy in the military. In the military? I haven't heard that it's a military thing. In Troll Hunters, an animated show by Guillermo del Toro, two girls kissed. Really? I didn't know about that. Troll Hunters has a girl kiss. I'm writing this down. Hunters has a kiss. I'm not going to remember what I meant by that note. Hello to Matty Cottrell. Glad I made it. Love your stream on Gender Bending Disney. Robin Williams Genie does a lot of... I guess that's true. Yeah, he does have, he does a lot of that. I'm not sure if that counts as Genie's mythical. I think that counts. Looney Tunes has two gay characters. The scenes with Mac and Tosh, the Gophers in Rabbit's Run, is very coded. They sing a song called Fabulous. I believe they're implied to be married. What? Really? Mac and Tosh in Rabbit's Run. I'll definitely check that out. Anthony Rose recommends Pose. Well, we've watched the pilot, but have not watched any follow-ups since then. So we probably should, is what I'm saying. Radical Rainbow, The Killing of Sister George. I'm definitely putting that on the list. I've not seen it. I've been meaning to. The Killing of Sister George. Should definitely check that one out. Mission Hill cartoon had an episode where a married gay character shows a protagonist Midnight Cowboy. It's nice and heartwarming. So I don't know what Mission Hill is, but you all have such great recommendations here. Okay, Mission Hill, Midnight Cowboy episode. And of course, Sailor Moon and the lesbians in that one. Sailor Moon. What is it? Saturn and Uranus, I think? Or Neptune and... I can't remember. Sailor Moon lesbians. It's a game called New Horizons that has a gay main character. It says Pirshef. New Horizons, a gay main character. I'm not familiar with that. So there's so many games with similar titles, because I was thinking at first about Horizon Zero Dawn, but that's not what you're talking about. Horizons. Play The Killing of Sister George toured in the late 60s starring Natalie Schaefer, who played Lovely Howell on Gilligan's Island. Oh! You know, it's always nice to see actors who are known for like some schlocky role doing something more serious. Like, for example, Gene Stapleton, Edith on All in the Family, was in a TV production of You Can't Take It With You. So yeah, it's nice to see, like, I don't know, the actor who played Mr. Belvedere, for example, doing Shakespeare or something like that. Not sure that he actually did that, but that's just an example that I made up just now. Ugh. Yes, Raphael, the Friends of Dorothy thing with the government, like, investigating. Who is this Dorothy? We've got to find Dorothy. Sean Nathan says, I was just watching The Dragon Prince on Netflix in season 2. One of the kingdoms is ruled by two queens and they kiss. They're only in a couple of episodes. I've heard about that. I haven't gotten through season 2 of Dragon Prince because I found, like, I liked season 1 okay. But then season 2 we started watching and it was like, this is just taking so long. We watched 2 episodes and I'm like, it's just too slow. Nothing's happening. Move it along. Shira's read Bo has 2 dads. There's a lesbian. Yeah, that's right. Bo in the new Shira has 2 dads. This gay's all over cartoons these days. And Dragon Prince. Are they queens or princesses or something? Ruled by 2 queens, yeah. And season 1. And the Loud House's MC has a bi sister. Gosh, okay. The Loud House bi sister. I'll check all this stuff out. Radical Rainbow hates the movie Cruising. I think there's some good bits in Cruising, but yeah, probably wasn't a great thing to come out when it did. It doesn't make gays look good. Look, Anthony just likes Mr. Belvedere. All in the Family's Gene Stapleton was in the original Broadway production of Damn Yankees, Bells Are Ringing, and Funny Girl. Whoa, really? I didn't know that. Good for her. Yeah, you know, and everyone thinks, like, you know, because I'm picturing, like, her doing that voice in all of those shows. Of course, she doesn't. That's just how Edith talks. It's not how Gene Stapleton talks. Okay, Prince has watched Sailor Moon every day after school. If you miss an episode, you're totally screwed plot-wise. That is super true, yes. Yes, it's a very, like, wait, what's happening kind of show. Oh, and Mina recommends Unicorn Planet. I haven't thought about Unicorn Planet in so long. Oh, man. Oh. Everybody look up Unicorn Planet. I miss that a lot. A gay boy wished for a planet full of unicorns. Planet Unicorn, Unicorn Planet. Drew Droege was in that. He was one of the voices. The Netflix show Pinky Malinky has a friend with 3 dads. Whoa, wait, is it like, are they like poly, or like, are they just taking turns, or what? Or is it just my 3 sons, but all grown up? The bunch of Canadian movies with gay characters that are reshot and re-edited for the USA with straights in their place? Really? There's one about Santa getting a makeover that Brutal Moose covered. Really? They just take a gay movie and remake it with straight people in the US? I can't believe that. Done episodes about the history of gay people in TV, with the history of gay representation of people in kids, young adult TV shows like Saved by the Bell or Boy Meets World. Very little? Historically. Like modern contemporary, as we're talking about right now, contemporary stuff has a lot more, like She-Ra, for example. But, yeah, virtually none if we go back just a few years. And oh, remember the web show Husbands by Cheeks and Jane Espenson? Oh yeah, I did an interview with them. I think that's on my channel too. I think I did a whole interview with Jane and Cheeks, if he's still going by that name, and the other actor whose name I've forgotten in Husbands. Yeah, it was very fun. It was years ago. Ellie says, how could I forget? Ren Stimpy had some very homoerotic moments when it was a Nickelodeon show. They kiss, they sleep in the same bed. I don't remember that. I don't remember. Oh, actually, no, that's coming back to me. Yeah, that's coming back now. Hello from Argentina, says Pisandro. Welcome. Good to see you. Kiri Kiri says it's like ambiguously poly. They're not main characters, but they seem to be a happy, well-adjusted family with one son and 3 dads. Whoa, that's really amazing. Pinky Malinsky, 3 dads, huh? Too Cool for Christmas, George Hamilton's Santa helps a spoiled teen appreciate her parents. 2 dads in Canada, straight parents in the U.S. I can't believe that. Also, I can't believe George Hamilton is Santa? That's terrible casting. That's the worst casting I've ever heard of. Shoeface, what do you make of Queer Eye, either the new or old series? Okay, so here's my thoughts on Queer Eye. So the original came along at a good time. It made straight people more comfortable with gay people, and it was a good thing. And it wasn't a great show. It wasn't like great television, but because it was so prominent, I think it did a lot of good work. The new one makes me uncomfortable, and I like a lot of what they're doing with the show. But for one thing, I find it incredibly repetitive, which I get, that's the appeal. Like, every episode is the same thing. And 2, I think it's better, in air quotes, television. Like, it's crafted with a lot more craftsmanship than the original. But I find the narrativizing to be really manipulative. Like, I just feel that, like, the producer and writers making the story for the characters in the episode, like, it just feels so phony and forced to me, that I really don't find it enjoyable. The breaking point for me was, I think, like, episode 3 or 4, maybe it was, like, even episode 2. Oh, I just got a notification that I went live. That's very helpful. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for sending me that notification that I'm live now. Question for everybody watching. Did you get, if you set notifications, did you get a notification for this stream? Because I'm a little annoyed that YouTube just sent it just this second, after we've been going for an hour. Great. Yeah, there was one episode of Queer Eye that, like, tried to solve, like, the African-American communities' relationship with police and police abuse of power. Like, that was a whole theme of an episode, and the show made it seem like one conversation and the whole episode was solved, and there's reason for debate on both sides. And I was like, I can't stick with the show anymore. I don't like how they've made this, like, they've treated this so glibly. I don't like it. Anyway, so that's how I feel about new Queer Eye. I like Jonathan Van Ness when he's just on his own, although I like Jonathan Van Ness when he has a skeptic alongside him, because, so I like his podcast, Getting Smart, I think is the name of it, or Cute and Smart, or something like that. But I find that Jonathan tends to believe whatever anybody tells him, even when it's something real goofy and, like, nah, I don't think that's true. So I like it when he's got somebody there who could be like, whoa, wait. Because he just wants to be upbeat and positive and say yes to everything, which is fun, but I think that needs to be tempered. Jack Saint did a good video on gay representation cartoons in the 90s. I will check that out. Jack Saint, gay 90s cartoons. Have you discussed the demise of Will and Grace? Not really. Like I said, I don't really tend to talk so much about, like, stuff that's happening right now. McMahon says, I bet Sesame Street was the first positive representation of gay people on TV. I don't know about that. Sure, they had a character with 2 dads or something. I don't know if there's been anything gay on Sesame Street. I feel like I would have heard about that. They had a character with HIV, but not in, like, a LGBT context. It was I want to say it was a character. I may be getting this wrong now. I want to say it was a character on, not in the U.S., but in a different country. It was South Africa. There was a little girl who I think was born with HIV character. But now I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to say something that's not true. Gabriel says, Sky Dancers turned you gay as a kid. I don't know Sky Dancers. What is that? Radical Rainbow says, crazy, beautiful thing are wonderful movies. They are. Bert and Ernie, here's the thing about Bert and Ernie. I feel like those are good characters and that you can read a lot into them that you want. And so if you want them to be gay, they are. I do want them to be gay, so they are. But if you're like, they're just friends, then they're that for you. And yeah, of course, Timon and Pumbaa, Stella, of course. Is there, like, I would love to hear Nathan Lane talking about, like, the gay innuendo. Somebody said that, like, he's been joking about that for years. Do you know, does that exist anywhere that I could, like, read or watch or listen to? Nathan Lane talking about how Timon and Pumbaa are gay? PM says, my issues with Queer Eyes have less to do with the host than the subjects. Oh, and it's just totally scrolled and I lost my place. It feels like they're mocking poor people and folks with mental illness. Ooh, well, that's not good. New Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has 2 funny villain characters. They aren't that bad. Warren Stone, Mutant Earthworm, and Hippopotamus. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Oh, Marcus wants a video on Xena Warrior Princess. I'd love to do that. Yes. And Raphael just started reading the last Harold the Mage trilogy again. Tell me about that. I'm not familiar with that one. Great books with a great gay main character. The author won a literary LGBT award for these books. Highly recommended. Easy read. The Last Harold Mage. Lady Daft says, I got it on time. Kay Prince says, I got about 30 minutes before you started. What? Radical Rainbow got a notification. Jay Fowler's notification was on time. Huh. Wait, Christy says, last night I was in a stream that was ending when I got the notification. Yeah, and Kiri got it immediately. YouTube, what's going on? Why are these all happening at different times? MC Wolf says, of course, Adventure Time's finale with Bubblegum and Marceline. That is very nice. I like that that exists. Oh, Getting Curious. That's it. Getting Curious is Jonathan Van Ness's podcast. McMahon of the People says, there's an episode of Night Court where Dan Fielding's old college buddy comes to visit. Turns out he's transitioned to... Yes, we were talking about that one earlier. Yes, indeed. But I haven't seen it, so I'm going to have to go hunt that one down. Christy Abbey was recommending that one. Where are my... Oh, yeah, Alan says, any thoughts on Will and Grace ending again? I mean, fine. I mean, do we need more Will and Grace? Like, I feel like it's instantly out of date to, like, have a multicam sitcom, like, these days. Like, there've been enough now, so we're good. All full here. No more room. One new gay thing that happened, says Rezel, is I now joined a Call of Cthulhu campaign. Set in the 20s at playing a gay anthropologist who went slightly insane when his boyfriends died. Whoa, that's a good character hook. Yeah, Shufei, you're right about Bert and Ernie, like Xena, have a plausible deniability, which makes straight people relax. I think that's a good read there, yeah. Oh, there's an interview of Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella from '94, but they took it off YouTube. That's too bad. I would love to see that. Talking about Timon being a friend of Dorothy. Rezel says, I'm watching Suits, and it's puzzling how in 9 seasons, I don't remember anything gay in there. So, Matt, I just watch it now to see how far this train wreck will go. I don't think I've ever watched Suits. I assume it's a show about a bunch of suits that come to life and just, like, live their lives, and they go to the office. They're, like, business suits having a job, but without a person inside. Pisandro says there's an interview. Aha! There's an interview with Stephen Colbert where they talk about the new Lion King, and Nathan Lane makes a joke about how Timon and Pumbaa? Wait, Timon and Pumbaa. Or Simba and Pumbaa. Do you mean, wait, who do you mean? Could live together. Have you seen the movie Pride yet? Yes! Yes! We did finally watch that. It's very good. I like it a lot. Maybe I should do a video on that one. Pride. Or maybe I should do it, like, save it for June and actually do it during Pride month. The thing is, Pride, despite the name, is not super about, like, gay pride. There's a little bit at the end, but mostly it's about... Actually, I think this would be good for a Pride Month video. It's about the phenomenon, the feeling of pride. All Our Zen meditation music has ended, but a new one is about to begin. But will it serve us an ad first? It will. An ad for a thermostat that I can't skip. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're back to new meditation music. This is so relaxing to have this. I don't know if you all can hear it because I turned the desktop audio down. Here, I'll turn up a little bit more. So it's just, there we go. We've got birds tweeting. We've got misty mountains. Ellie says, in the 94 interview, Nathan is jokingly asked what he thinks about Disney's first gay characters. He tries to brush it aside, then makes a 180 and goes full shipping mode. Oh, boy, I really want to see that. Mina says, I hope they make more multicams. They should have a place in today's world as long as they're good. I mean, if they're good, maybe, but I don't know, like, I'm not sure what's left to be done with a multicam sitcom now. Avant Garbage says, would you consider doing a video about the impact of boys in the band? Yeah, I'd like to, especially knowing now that they're doing, like, they're filming a TV version, I think somebody said. That would be a good thing to do, to coincide with that coming out. Excelsior says, I've got a huge crush on a guy in my church. He's really passionate about LGBTQ rights, but says that he's not gay, but he's just doing it for a friend. What should I do? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, if he says he's not gay, you could take him at his word. He could be bi. I guess, like, you don't want to tell someone what their sexuality is for them. You don't want to be like, yes, you are. Or you don't want to be like, well, I'm going to get you drunk and try to take advantage of you. So don't do that. You know how, like, there are lots of opportunities to get people drunk at church. Like, so I guess what I'm saying is don't drug his communion wine. I guess one thing you can do is tell him how much you appreciate his allyship. Let him know that it means a lot to you, and let him know that you care about him and what he's doing. You know, that's just being a good friend. I would say that's my advice, is to be a good friend and see where that gets you. Without the expectation, you know, don't go in with the expectation that, like, I'm going to be a good friend to him, and that's going to convert him and make him consider trying gayness. Because that's not, I think we all know, that's not how that works. Or, alternately, if you're finding it just, like, really painful to be around somebody that you have a crush on, but that, like, is not into you, then some time apart would probably be better. To be like, I need you out of my life because, I mean, I don't actually say this, but, like, find reasons not to be around him if it's, like, causing you heartbreak and anguish that you're not dating. Avant Garbage says, love your content, thank you. Anthony Rose says, love your assessment on that obscure show, Quantum Leap. Obscure, oh no. Oh, Quantum Leap, I guess it is obscure now. Maddie says, I listened to Gimlet Media's audio narrative, The Two Princes. I think it's geared toward preteens, and I love it. It's not animated, but I'm crossing my fingers. I have not heard that. Gimlet's The Two Princes, huh? Is it like an audio drama of a book about two princes? The new Roswell, New Mexico changed 2 characters into gay characters, and it's so good, says Raphael. Love the original, but loving the new version. Can't wait for next season. Kate Prince says, I have to get going. Thanks for the entertainment and the chatters. Thanks for joining, Kate Prince. Glad to have you here. Hello and hi and all that. All that. Shoeface says, my favorite sitcom is still David Lynch's Single Cam Rabbits. Oh, no. No, that's not for me. I don't care. Do not care for that one. Too weird. Too weird. We can't hear the music because you slurping putting down the cup constantly is so loud. Oh, I didn't realize it would be so loud. I gotta put it down. I'll put it down on the mouse pad so it's not making so much noise. Blah. So here's the thing: is I don't like coffee. I don't actually like it, but I need it sometimes. Dylan says I wouldn't mind another Darwin Greg. Okay. That's another one where I'm like, I'm good. I've had enough. I've seen 3 episodes. I think that'll do. Marcus says, Xena and Gabrielle constantly declare their love and devotion. Not sure a Bert and Ernie comparison is similar. It'd be weird if Bert and Ernie declared their love and devotion, though, right? Because they're like... I don't know. I feel like that would be out of character. Maybe not. No. I could see it. I could see Ernie being, like, having a tender moment. I feel like Ernie's always, like, joking around, so it'd be weird for him to get, like, really lovey. But I could see it. Of course, Bob Mathis, Queer Duck. How could I forget Queer Duck? Here's the problem with Queer Duck. It was only okay. Wasn't great. Yeah, Brianna, the show's hilarious yet dated. I love the Oscar Wildcat. I mean, it had some good bits, but I don't think it was, like, consistently funny. You consider taking a look at the relationship between Beecher and Keller on Oz. I've never seen Oz, Lady Mara of Lorath. I haven't seen Oz, so I don't know those characters. Brianna recommends Homestuck. We were just talking about Homestuck the other day. It's incredibly long, yet popular. Multiple gay and gender non-conforming characters. I know that there are some huge mega fans of Homestuck, and I probably should give it a shot. So... I might. If you have the thing that... Wait. Rezel says, if you can, I have a thing that I must do. My former best friend comes to visit me. We were friends when I was deep in the closet. I crushed on him and tried subtly turn him gay. Yeah, that's... So, trying to turn anybody anything is not great. Ugh. And Thomas Gibson from Dharma and Greg played a couple of non-straight roles on film. He's charming. Did he? Wait, was he? No, I'm thinking of somebody else who's on Jeffrey, in the movie Jeffrey. Somebody who looks like it was the same, like, TV chiseled jaw face. Yeah. I'm trying to think of where I might have seen him in anything gay. I don't think, that's not ringing a bell. Thomas Gibson. Moni says, have you come across the tiny Golden Girls fandom? Blanche and Dorothy are shippable. Those are not characters that I need to imagine together. I like them having the sex life that they have. I mean, yes, I guess. Dorothy and Blanche? I don't know. I think, like, my resistance to that is, like, they don't feel like they'd make a good couple to me. They're both, I feel like they're both a little too headstrong to really... feel romantic. Ugh. In an episode of 2.5 Men, they show that Dharma and Greg were getting a divorce. Is Christy? Really? Are they in the same cinematic universe? Oz is painfully fascinating, says Lady Mara of Lorath. Watched it a dozen times. I cry every time. Oh, I don't like crying, though. Oh, no. Rick and Steve, says Luigi. Yes, of course. Rick and Steve. Important animated queer stuff. Bob says, important breaking news update on Tony, Randall, and Curtis on the Tonys. They're both dead. So please update your files accordingly. Christy says, regarding Homestuck, gave my kid the courage to come out as trans, which finally made me do so. Wow. Okay. Gosh. That's pretty powerful. Congratulations to both of you. That's fantastic. And Alan, I've not reviewed Tales of the City. That might be another good one to do. Here's my problem with Tales of the City, is I find the main character, Marianne, to be so negative and so unwilling to participate in life around her. Like, maybe that's just, that's just her character, and it's early in her arc, and maybe she gets better. But in reading the books, I just found her very, standoffish, and I've just found her frustrating. Thomas Gibson was gay in Love and Human Remains and bi in the original Tales of the City series. Wait, really? How old is he? Because he should have been a kid for that, right? How is he bi? Oh no, I guess that would be the 90s, huh? Yeah, that would have been about the right time. He would have been a cute young thing. Okay, yeah. Yeah. They did a crossover cameo after Charlie Sheen left on 2.5 Men. Weird. Weird. PM says, regarding Tales of the City, Marianne gets obnoxiously woke, but the focus shifts to other characters. Is that in the old one, the original one, or the new one that they're doing now? Because I started watching the original, and it was okay. But again, like, too slow. Like, not enough was happening. And same thing with the books. Like, I just did not feel hooked by the book. But I know, like, a lot of people love those books, so... You know, important literary work, I suppose. Marianne changes in the later books as PM and is treated as obnoxious by those around her in the 2019 Netflix series. Okay, fine. That is fine with me. Because I do think she is kind of obnoxious as a character. Not, you know, I'm not saying anything about Laura Linney, but I do think, yeah, she's kind of unpleasant in the books. Pisandro says, the video about Edith's crisis of faith made me cry. Oh, it was beautiful. I mean, that's all down to what an amazing actress Jean Stapleton is. She is incredible. It's just, like, so compelling. And the show really knows it. Like, they give her a lot of acting to do that she can really pull off. Regarding James Dean, says, Bob, you'd have to ask his room. Oh, Nick Adams claimed much about his homoerotic exploits. Ooh. Well, I'm always down for a good gay college rumor. Regarding James Dean, you'd have to ask his... Oh, yes. And Avant Garbage says, review Billy Crystal's character, Jody, from Soap. You know, I touched on him briefly in... I've got a video about sitcoms in the 70s and 80s. So I talk about him there. But only briefly, only a little bit. The problem, here's the problematic thing. There's a lot of problematic things about Jody. One is that in the first season of Soap, he is shown as getting what was then called a sex change operation because he's gay and wants to marry his boyfriend. And so the assumption was like, it's a reasonable thing for him to want to become a woman so he can do that. But that's really not how that works at all. Like... people who get what we now call gender affirmation surgery, or just go through a gender affirmation process, people who are trans, don't do it so that they can get married. Not that you even need to now, but like, it's not like I'm gay and feminine, therefore I want to become a woman. That's not what gay means. Like, a gay man who's just like really femme is not like craving womanhood in the same way that a trans woman is actually a woman. Surgery or not. Anthony Rose says, what about the out gay character Tom in Downton Abbey? The other problem with Billy Crystal's character is he keeps talking about how he's gay, but then he has more sex with women than men. So, like, I don't know if the word bisexual just didn't exist in the writer's room, but come on. Eli recommends Moral Oral on Adult Swim. Had some great LGBT characters. I can count about 3 to 5. Every character is tragic on that show. Sloppy Turtle says the first 2 seasons of Soap was good. After that became distinctly ridiculous. I mean, it was always supposed to be a ridiculous show. I think they just, like, made it, like, they ramped up the ridiculousness. But it was, even from the beginning, it was silly. Mina, not a fan of how the show treated the gay guy. As I recall, there wasn't a lot of gay in that one. Like, I'm trying to remember what happened there. It was just like, he was gay, and it was risky, and he might get in trouble, but he didn't. Right? Oh, no, he got beat up, didn't he? Did he get beat up for being gay? Now I can't remember. I kind of lost interest in Soap because it was, like, getting... Not Soap. Jeez, that's telling. I kind of lost interest in Downton Abbey because it was getting so soapy. And, like, everything was a soap opera twist. Okay. I just wanted the Dowager Countess all the time. I'm sorry, catching up with the chat here. The evil self-hating... Oh, wait, the self-hating evil queen stereotype is offensive, says Opera Zine. Oh, yeah, Downton Abbey. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the other thing with Thomas, is, like... He does feel like a throwback character of, like, oh, he's gay and manipulative. And that's fun, but I don't think they had enough fun with him. Oh, did he assault a straight guy? I don't remember that. But also, that does sound kind of like his thing. Oh, and Shiny Glow, the first episode of Facts of Life was about a girl questioning her sexuality. The show was an underdog that kept going. Yeah, that's true. It's a weird episode. Okay, so that one, she's concerned about being a tomboy. And so Mrs. Garrett has a chat with her about that. But on the Facts of Life. But then Mrs. Garrett, like, there's this mean girl who's, like, teasing the tomboy character and being like, oh, you like pants? Oh, you have short hair? Oh. And Mrs. Garrett, like, basically gets the mean girl to back down by slut-shaming her and being like, boy, you sure do sleep around a lot. And the mean girl is like, what? And Mrs. Garrett's like, you sure are a dirty whore. Anyway, that's what... She doesn't say those words, but she basically implies it. And the girl's like, oh, Mrs. Garrett. And Mrs. Garrett's like, sure sucks when people say mean things about you, doesn't it? And the girl's like, yeah, it does. And so she's like, so stop saying mean things about that other girl. It's just really weird. It's super, super, super weird.
And it also kind of seems like Mrs. Garrett might be coming on to it.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing that's so weird about it. Is at first the scene feels like Mrs. Garrett is, like, coming on to her and, like, trying to feel out whether she's into, like, fooling around. So it's really strange. She's like, she approaches a girl like, hey, sailor, looking for a good time?
I hear you're up for anything.
Yeah, she's like, I hear you're up for anything. It's like she just cruised up to her on a street corner and rolled down the window. It is so weird. Maybe I should do a video on that, because I think it's hysterical. Rezel says, the main villain in the new WoW expansion, Queen Azara? James, do you know how to pronounce it?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay. It would... Achara? Queen Achara. Let's say it's Queen Achara, who established since 2003 is canonically bi. Oh, that's great. I do love my gay villains, my queer villains. Here's the thing, though, is that trope of, like, the bisexual villain. She's sexually insatiable. That's kind of been done. James is making faces at... James, you have to stop seducing me with your sexual wiles. I don't know why this turns me on when you do this, but it does. Right now, he's doing the twist. He's doing a little galloping pony dance. He's doing the swim. I don't know if that's a dance. He's just pretending to swim in the air. And now he's doing the monkey dance. He's doing the King Kong. Oh, he's doing the hop. He's doing the Lindy hop. James, can I see a little dubstep? He's doing the dubstep there. Yep. Oh, yep, he's doing the butter churning. There it goes. That's the... Oh, he's doing the twin windmills. The twin mills. That's my favorite of your dances, James. Can you do the Marilyn Monroe? He's come back to do... Oh, there he goes. His skirt's a-twirling. It's very strange what James can do to get me excited. The other day we were recording some Queens of Adventure, and he bellowed an army of super mutants. He yelled that across the table, and I was like, oh, an army of super mutants. Whew. Okay. Where am I in the chat? Two Princes podcast. Prince Rupert sets out to break the mysterious curse that's destroying his kingdom when he meets the handsome Amir, a rival prince on a quest to save his own realm. Huh. That's fun. Okay, I like that. That's interesting. Please make that Facts of Life video. Please, the Shiny Glow. Okay, I mean, I'm putting that on the list. That'll be a quick one, I think, because there's not a lot to talk about it. It's just real weird. Was there any other Facts of Life episode that covered anything queer? It's weird if it hasn't. Seems like it should have, but maybe not. Ellen says, I think the first time a gay couple was shown in bed on network TV was 30-something. Probably. That was probably the first in bed. There were gay couples prior to that. I want to say, like, not Trapper John. There was another show in the 70s. There's a cop show. What was it? I can't remember. Anyway, cop show that had, like, a gay couple in Berkeley. Sloppy Turtle says, we need to see the people with you there in your spacious library. How do you fit that spacious library in a one-bedroom apartment? I'd like to know. Oh, it's all mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors, mostly smoke. Raphael says, I just followed Matt on Instagram. Never thought to look for you there. Yes, I am on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram to see sexy men, because that's what I post on Instagram. It's a little different from what I post on YouTube, but I post sexy men at parties. That's what my Instagram is for. Oh, Sophie McLeod says, McLeod says sex change. I don't love calling it sex change is the thing. Sex operations are common in Russia for gay men to get around marriage laws. Really? How common are we talking? Video facts of life. You could tie it in with Alan Thicke dying or not, because that would be weird. Wait, what? Did Alan Thicke die? Alan Thicke died a while ago. Was he on Facts of Life? He wrote the theme song.
He might have, I don't know.
James is giving me possibly true information. MC says, thoughts on Daryl from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it's a show that I'm like, I should like this. I watched the first, 3 episodes, and I was like, okay, I get it. I think part of the problem there is that, the show is so concerned with the problems of heterosexuals. And I don't like to see or be seen by straight people. So I was just like, okay, just here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't love the first few episodes of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend because I was like, all of these problems could be solved with one line of dialogue of just being like, here's how I feel. And problem solved. And so I just find the characters super annoying for having oh, we've got to go through all this convoluted stuff because I like somebody and can't talk about it. Just talk about it, Jesus. And it has that straight person romance problem of people who are, maybe I'm misremembering this, but isn't the premise something like I'm engaged to be married, therefore I can't admit that I find someone else attractive? That's what the entire drama hinges on. My fiancé must never know that I found another person sexy. I remember that being the whole conflict of the entire show. I may be wrong about that. But I just remember thinking queer people don't have these problems. I was in love. Whoa boy, scrolling. Yikes, help. Regarding Jordy Gay Trans. I was in love with the straight guy, and he somewhat made me feel that if I were a woman, now I'm over that BS, but at the time it affected me, it hurt me so much. Yeah, that's not a great feeling, right? To be I need to change my gender for someone. Don't do that. Don't change your gender for someone. Affirm your gender for you. And Sloppy Turtle, wait, Christy, Abby, hold on. Okay, I gotta scroll around a bit. Should watch the extras. So Christy says, should watch the extras with a second group of producers talk about how it was a jiggle show in their eyes. Wait, what show? Which one are you talking about? Tight clothes. I'm scrolling back up through the chat to try to figure out what we're talking about. We're not talking about Facts of Life, are we? It was a Facts of Life. They consider that a jiggle show, really?
A bunch of teen girls living together.
It's a bunch of teen girls living together. I guess. Huh. Ooh, McMahon of the People. I see a lot of posts about gay men talking about Chris O'Donnell's Robin turned them gay. What about a video about first gay crush through the ages? That would be fun. That's actually a great idea. That would be much more about I'd have to get people to talk about that, but first gay crush is such a fun idea. Because I could talk about mine. Was of course Michelangelo the Turtle, but yeah, I'd love to hear other people's first gay crushes. D Night Walker says, "Hi everyone, just watch Years and Years and it's must see." What is that? What is Years and Years? Years and Years. What is that? Let me talk about James. Even the look at your eyes changes. Oh, yeah, he's good. I like him. He's a good one. He makes me happy. What about the LA complex? Only last 2 seasons, but the gay rapper storyline was beautiful and heartbreaking. I've never heard of that, Luigi. What is the LA complex? Yeah, oh, okay. Christy says James is right about Alan Thicke writing the theme. It's a good theme. Avant Garbage says you're collegiate educating queer theory or self-taught. Mostly I did take a class on gay, what was it? I think it was called queer studies at the time. Something about like queer media, but it was not a good class. It was like, way too theoretical and not practical at all. I've got the notes for it still somewhere, like my college notes in a box somewhere. And every now and then I go back to it. I'm like, what the hell were we talking about? It's just so removed from what's actually on screen. Philosophical. Crazy ex-girlfriend gets less straight as it goes along with 2 characters in season 2 and some more in season 4. Okay. Dylan says that's why she's crazy. Yeah, but it's not like... Another problem I have with it is the use of the word crazy, I think, is a bit stigmatizing, and that just makes me a little uncomfortable too. Ugh. It's not a big deal, I guess, but, you know, I try to be very good about, like, not saying crazy if I, you know, because it's just such a negative word and kind of unkind to, you know, conversation about mental illness. I just don't like hearing that. New series proposal. I'd love to see a series based on Broken Hearts Club. Oh, okay. That, honestly, I could see. The facts of the first episodes wearing very tight 70s clothes, it was the trend. Yes. Facts of Life occasionally intimated Joe was a lesbian, but then went out of its way to cast her only as a tomboy. And they did the same thing with Tasha Yar on DS9, Jesus, on Next Generation. Like, on the very second episode, they made her have sex with Data, the other very androgynous character on the show, to be like, look, they're heterosexual. Shiny Glow says Roseanne broke a lot of ground for gays on TV. She helped me so much as a teenager. Yeah, so there's the lesbian kiss on Roseanne, of course. But then also the 2 gay... There's a gay couple, and I can't... Martin Mull and somebody else. One of the first gay weddings on television. Not the first. Oprazine says, my first gay crush was Peter Tork of the Monkees, but my first erotic attraction was to a Popeye cartoon. Oh, yes, we talked about that on Sewers of Paris. I remember talking about that, Oprazine. My first gay crush, understanding I was always a closet girl, was Molly Ringwald in Facts of Life. That is a good teen crush. Molly Ringwald is a good one. Eli says, first gay crush is both of the girls in the Breakfast Club. Well, there you go. Oh, Mina says Kim Possible. Yeah, she is great. Anthony Rose says Sandra Bernhardt. Shuface says Jem. These, oh my gosh, you guys, these are such good first queer crushes. Oh, I love it so much. Usher for Corey Boone. Sean Nathan says Aladdin. And Oprazine says all of my theories are queer theories. That is true. My friend's college thesis was basically a YouTube channel. Oh, gay representation on television. That's great. More of that. More of that. Ingy Bingy 2000. Okay. Ooh. Honestly, Brianna, that's not a bad idea. The notes could be a Patreon tier. I kind of like that idea. Maybe I'll make that a thing. I've been looking for more rewards to do on Patreon, and that's a good one. I kind of like that. Like twice a month, I do a little Patreon thing of like, here's everything that everybody recommended. Rezel says, I think my first gay crush was Elle from Death Note. Okay. Bob Mathis says, Princess Bubblegum, of course. Third episode of Big Mouth on Netflix is a gay questioning episode. Okay. Okay, it's more stuff that I have to watch, but okay. Big Mouth, gay questioning episode. Oh, interesting. PM says Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is about deconstructing rom-com tropes and the use of the word crazy. Problem is the title scared a lot of folks away. Okay. Also, I think the show's taking too long to get there, because I definitely did not feel that in the first 3 episodes. Max says, have you seen a video by the a cappella group Ootboxford, Out of the Blue Oxford? Some of those videos, like some of the Christmas ones and the new one, are a bit homoerotic. I will check it out. Ootboxford. It is difficult for an a cappella group to win me over. I tend not to like a cappella at all. Years and Years is written by Russell T Davies. Okay, yep. Life and family during the next 15 years as the world falls apart around them. Ooh. That sounds like a real fun time. Shoeface says yes regarding Tasha Yar, frustrating Ensign Rowe. I mean, here's the thing. Can you imagine if Tasha Yar had stayed around long enough for Ensign Rowe to be introduced? Probably would have happened because it would have probably been like, oh, that's too many masky women on the show at once. We can't have that. Next Generation was not great about women characters, but oh my goodness, Tasha / Rowe, would have been so good if they had them as a lesbian couple. It's not too late. The Picard maneuver is coming out. The new Picard series is coming out. I want Tasha Yar and Ensign Rowe. I know in canon, Yar was, spoiler alert, killed in the past in a weird time travel thing. But I want them to find some way to bring her back. Maybe it's her kid. Maybe it's Sayla. Sayla and Yar doing this as a couple. That's what I want. Oh, yes. I'm so excited about that. I'm sorry. I totally derail this conversation. That is what I want. I'm just going to sit in silence and think about it for the next hour. Maddie says, my first gay crush was Aladdin. I spent all of elementary school with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Blessed my binder. No one ever caught on. They might have caught on. Alan's looking for Jake Ryan. Wait. No. I was thinking of the politician. Not him. Jake Ryan. Who's Jake Ryan? Okay. Christy says, crazy ex-girlfriend talks about the stigmatization of the word crazy, when she finally got help and started getting better. Oh. Okay. Well, I stopped watching the show in part because I was having a problem with it for exactly that reason. Well, that's good that it actually gets around to that. Oh. Good. I mean, that's the thing, is I like all of the cast. I think all the actors on that show are fantastic. I just didn't love the material. Oh. PM says, my first TV crush was Dale Midkiff on Time Tracks, playing Darian Lambert. I remember that well. James and I were just talking about Time Tracks the other day. MC Wolf says, first crush was Demi Moore in Ghost and Baby from Dirty Dancing. Son of a Pizza Man is here. Hello. Inky Binky says, I'm a straight guy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I don't appreciate Chris Evans. Well, I'm glad to hear that. It is. Here's the thing. Somebody was, I was reading about this on Twitter, that it's a problem. There, none of us are the first person to observe this, that women are comfortable, generally speaking. A lot of women are comfortable complimenting each other's appearance. Men don't do that, and it sucks. Straight men in particular. But even, like, gay men, it's, like, weird culturally to compliment someone's appearance. I guess part of the problem with gay culture is, like, it feels like immediately it's flirting. But just, like, platonically being like, oh, hey, you look good. I wish that happened more in male culture, both gay and straight. Lady Mara wants me to look at Mirror Universe Cure in DS9. That would be a fun one. I will say, one of the videos that had the least interest, one of my culture cruises that the fewest people wanted to watch, was the one that I did about Dax on DS9. Christy says, Elward is going to have 2 trans characters played by trans women. Oh, goodness gracious. About time. Elward turned me off because of the transphobic elements that were treated like they were okay. Yeah, Shoeface says, Tasha Rose / on Picard. Yes, please, make it so. Oh, Jake Ryan's a hottie in 16 Candles. Oh. And Hector's just joined. Hello, just coming. Hello and welcome. We're probably going to be wrapping up soon when we're almost at 2 hours, which is longer than these normally go, but we're having a lot of good conversations, so hello. Christy says, say hello to Brianna. And Corey says, loved your interview and probably true. Thank you, Corey Boone. That was revealing more of myself than I normally do. That was a very sexy conversation. But it's all true. Probably. Shiny Glow says, let's make it happen. Go out and compliment a man. Well, here's the other thing, is men get enough compliments already. Been misunderstood. Yeah, Sean Nathan says, I've been misunderstood as flirting many times. Just trying to be complimentary. Yeah. Galactic Grandma says, the non-complimentary thing just in the Americas, or is there any more cultures more honest, more open about it? Oh, you may be right about that. That may just be an American thing. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, but you might be right. You might have a point there. Anthony says Dax was ahead of its time. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame they didn't give her more romance, and like it was like her one Dax or her one gay love episode, and then that was it. I would have liked to have seen more. Christy says, I missed your Dax. I must fix that. The Klingon just accepting her as a meme in trans circles. Oh, yes. Yeah, it is great. Like, it is, yeah, what is it? She, like, somebody kind of misgenders her, like a Klingon's like, good to see you, old man, or something like that, or look at him, and she's like, it's actually her now. And he's like, look at her, like, just instantly, like, fixes his pronouns for her. I don't think the Klingon says, look at her. If you want to see a German's head explode, give him or her a compliment. I live in Berlin. Oh, the Germans don't do that? They don't like that? Oh. Okay, well, good to know. They can't handle it. They can't handle the truth. What if... That's so sad, though. I want to tell a German. They look cute. Pisandro says, don't know if it was my first TV crush, but I loved Harvey Kinkle. Harvey Kinkle from Sabrina so much. Oh, Harvey. If I think about my first real-life crushes were kind of like him personality-wise. Harvey. So the nice thing about Harvey on Sabrina is that he's cute and very dumb and really like the stereotype of he's like the prototypical dumb, lovable jock. And I don't want to say that like he was written like, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this, but he's basically written like a porn trope, which isn't great because he's supposed to be a teenager, but you know, like all of the writing on that character on Harvey, which is why I think there's a lot of slash about him, is that he, like just a few word choices and it would just be dialogue from a porn film. Yeah. And, you know, he's just so, like, down for whatever. Bob says, how about an episode of fictional characters that are commonly used in drag acts? That's a neat idea. I hadn't thought of that. Endora, Catwoman, Cruella. I gotta say, actually, I don't see a lot of Endora. I'd like to. I wish I saw more Endora. Do you know Agnes Moorehead, the actress who played Endora, was killed by the U.S. government? Along with John Wayne. It's weird, but true. They were in this movie that shot in the desert, and the government concealed the fact that they were doing nuclear tests, and that the radiation was like at fatal levels out in that desert. Not fatal levels, like they instantly dropped dead, but like the radiation was like beyond what humans should be exposed to. Just kept it secret and allowed them to shoot their movie there. And like everybody who worked on that movie died of the same kind of cancer. Bonkers. John Wayne was among them, and Agnes Moorehead, and a lot of other people. Galactic Grandma says, speaking of dumb, lovable jocks, opinions on himbos and the recent trend of people liking them. Recent trend? I don't know. Honestly, I'd like to see more. I am all for it. I'm all for the objectification of the male form so that I could just look at hot guys. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, no, I'm opposed. No, let's see more sexy dummies out there. I think it's great. I mean, this is kind of what I want from, like, I think the new Ghostbusters did this, where they had a sexy man and like a lot of capable women around him, and he was just there to look hot. Like, I think that's great. That's what I want from like gender swapped reboots of things. Like, I want a lady James Bond who's got like a hot sidekick, and she just like has her way with all these different men and kisses all the boys, and the boys are dumb. Like, I think that would be a great new James Bond. And she's still named James. I want a lady James Bond who is pansexual. Like, now I'm wishing for everything all in one. I want a pansexual lady James Bond who's still named James and has sex with everybody. Even robots. No, I don't know where I'm going with that. Max Mullerman says, Germans would look at you weird if you just randomly said hello to them in the store. We're a bit uptight. That's what I've heard. After I watch your sitcom trope videos, I remember a gay episode from Gimme a Break that affected me as a child. Oh, I don't know that one. Gimme a Break? Oh, no, I do know that one. Yes, that's a stakeout. Yeah. It's the dad is on a stakeout with a gay cop, right? Do I have that right? And, like, the gay cop takes a bullet for him or something? Ellie says, there's an Adult Swim show called Harvey Birdman. Yes, had bisexual moments. I forgot about Harvey Birdman, but that's still out there. Yeah. Pisandra said, dumb, lovable jock. You just described all my teenage love interests. I'm glad I got out of it. Well, that's the thing. It's like there's the fun fantasy, and then there's reality of, you know, dumb jocks, you know, your looks won't last forever, so you should probably have something else going on. Oh, that's right. The Conqueror, Christy Abbey. That's the movie that killed everybody. Ugh. Carol and Susan from Friends did and still do have an impact on me, says Mina. Yeah. Yeah, although I remember there being some issue with that episode that now I can't remember. Friends definitely had, like, it was laden with homophobia, that show. Frustrating. And, oh, that's right. It wasn't the lesbian wedding episode that was the problem. It was Chandler's dad, as played by Kathleen Turner. Like, the show really gets, like, gender and trans wrong with gender, trans, drag, like all those things are conflated in a way that's like totally incorrect. And yeah, it's just like a huge problem. Gotta get going, says Raphael. Thank you for joining. Good to spend time with you. Aren't there plans for Lady James Bond, says Max Mallerman? Maybe. I don't remember. Shiny Glow says, if you want a research assistant for a Facts of Life video, let me know. I'm a super fan. Shiny Glow, are there any episodes that have queer stuff aside from that, like, I'm worried I'm a tomboy episode right at the beginning? Thoughts on Tales from the City? I'm watching the third installment now before the Netflix installment. Oh, Corey, you missed. We had a whole conversation about it earlier. That, what's her name? Marianne is just a big stick in the mud. Oh, Luigi says, you're talking about Codename Knockout, a comic about a female super spy with a gay sidekick. That sounds good. Yes, the gay cop that took a bullet on Give Me a Break. Yep. Maddie says, the new season of Dear White People has a lot more queer representation. Oh, okay, good. I will try to check that out. Let's see, I've got a long list. Dear White People. Oh, there are plans for a Lady 007. Okay, that sounds good to me. We'll see if that's good. I want that. But I want it like the way I want it, which is that she has sex with everybody, and she has lots of gay himbos around her. Reagan Latimer says, did I miss any discussion of Gentleman Jack? I am not familiar with that. What is that? Whew. Oh my goodness. So I have a lot of recommendations of things to watch. I know you can't quite read that, and it's doing weird green screen things. But I'm going to write this up, and for now, I'll put in the description of the video, but I think it was Brianna had the suggestion to make it like a patron bonus, so I might do that. I might start doing that in the future. Make it a thing for patrons. And, of course, if you would like to get access to some of my other patron benefits, you can head over to Patreon. There's a link in the description. That's at patreon.com/Matt Baume. Oh, goodness, you get so much stuff. You get early ad-free access to videos, so you can watch Culture Cruise early with no ads. You get Cozy Pants, the podcast I record with my partner James. What else do you get? Oh, so much stuff. I'll send you a care package in the mail. I can do shout outs in my videos for you. I'm about to send somebody a book in the mail that's signed by me, so you can get like actual physical stuff. Oh my goodness. If you sign up for the Patreon. So head over to patreon.com/Matt Baume to sign up for that. And of course, it's only thanks to the patrons that I'm able to do live streams like this one. So, hooray, thank you to all those patrons for making this live stream possible. Gentleman Jack is all the rage in lesbian circles. Can't believe you haven't heard of it. Oh, no, I haven't. What is it? Gentleman Jack. D-Net Walker says, James Bond is still a man. It's just a lady secret agent that was assigned. Yeah, of course. But she should still be called James. Glad I was able to make it to a live stream finally. Christy, thank you for joining. Thank you for all your insights about Facts of Life and other stuff. I know there are not to be any gay themes, but I'm going to put out there that whoa. Anthony says, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to put out there that there's something. Mina says, oh, it's a show about a real life Victorian lesbian. What? Yeah, I can't believe I haven't heard about that. That sounds incredible. What? Oh, Anthony says I'll be a patron. Yay! Thank you. Thank you for being a patron. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for all the company and comments and recommendations for everything. I'm so happy to have you all here joining me for this goofiness. And I'm sorry if the live stream notification didn't go out at a regular time. It sounds like for some of you it didn't, for some of you it didn't, and I don't know what's behind that. Annoying, but oh well. So our next one is going to be next week. Our next live stream is next week, next Saturday, the 10th. Often I space them out by 2 weeks, but next one's going to be next week because I'm trying to. We're going to have a lot of work the week after that. So basically, I'm bunching up my live streams a little bit at the beginning of August. So yes, join us next week and next Saturday, same time I think, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. seems to be working pretty well. So yeah. That's when we'll be doing that. Check out of course, my new Culture Cruise if you haven't already, featuring Beverly LaSalle and All in the Family. Check out Queens of Adventure, our podcast featuring drag queens on a Dungeons and Dragons quest, our comedy storytelling podcast, queensofadventure.com for that. We're about to announce some live shows and streams where you can watch us play D&D and drag live. So lots of excitement coming up there. Head over to queensofadventure.com for that. And boy, I think that's just about everything. Phew. Ugh. All right. So yeah, of course, as always, thank you for joining us, everybody, and have a lovely, lovely afternoon. Farewell, everyone. Farewell.